on the NMA, what exactly was the position of the court on that for the benefit of that? Was it dismissed? Was it rejected? Or what are we supposed to take out of it?
Well, the ruling is simply requires Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, to enter his defense. It's not a pronunciation of guilt or not guilty. So that is why it's called a no-case submission. So the judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court of Umuahia, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing by mistake that these things were not in evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we are coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
So what about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise, but there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, you know, I don't think NMA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained. And we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the National Hospital was rejected?
Rejected? No, it's pending. Yes.
One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. It's pending. It's pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of the Nigerian Medical Association. And you know, if you were in court, the judge had ordered that the committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the National Hospital. So National Hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, because and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. No, we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it's the Igbos.
Thank you.
And just like he said,
two sets of rules. One rule for the Igbos and one rule for every other Nigerian. This is a unique opportunity for Nigeria to be circumspect and look towards a political solution to this matter, and especially as it concerns high crime and criminality in the Southeast. So we are all disappointed, but God has not spoken yet. We will come back and show that the extraordinary rendition was indeed included in the submissions made to the court. And then the judge, like the barrister said, will know whether he has jurisdiction or not. But for the Igbo people, this is your time to rise up and to speak up and to say enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Now, I think it's high time we ask some questions, especially to our Southeast governors. There's something they said in this video now. They said that it is now clear that there's a different law for the Igbos and a different law for other Nigerians. You get the point? The question I've been asking myself since today is that, how can you tell me that in a country where we have our Southeast governors, in this kind of case, that these 5 Southeast governors and all other political leaders from the Southeast will come together and go to the president and ask the president to release Mazi Nnamdi? Because of a truth, these people don't have any reason for holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there. There's nothing they have in hand, say this is why we are holding him. The only thing is that they just want to keep him there for nothing. That Southeast governors you are seeing here now will just come together, call other political leaders, other senators, House of Assembly, and other Igbo elders, go to President Tinubu, ask President Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. Let them go and speak with him. That I don't know if there's anything that will stop Tinubu from releasing him. Because I have told people that no be DSA they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Any day, the president has the right to just come out today and say, release this man from that place where in day. And the next day, they will fix the date and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has the power as the president to give that order. Does it mean that our governors will not come together? I'm not saying all these promises they are making differently. Today, this one we talk, I'm working so hard to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This one, all of them should come together with other Igbo leaders. Go to President Tinubu and ask him to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. I don't know if Tinubu, if they do the first one, second one, third one, I don't know what will stop Tinubu from releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For me, I don't see them doing enough in this particular case. If I thought they are even doing anything, I'm not seeing them doing anything at all in this case. Because if I thought they have put much energy on this, I think President Tinubu must have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. Yes. He must have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to them. But I'm not seeing them doing enough in this particular case. I don't know. Well, let's see how the thing gonna be. I remember my humble self, like my peace and love. We pray for his release one day. We move regardless.